Thank you for listening to the Redfield Arts Review. This is your announcer, Marianne Perry. Brought to you by MarkRedfieldArt.com.
MarkRedfieldArt.com. Here's what just a few of today's art lovers are saying.
You're so ugly you could be a modern art masterpiece.
Crap. Crap. Ah. Now that's good work. The skulls, the bodies, you give it all such a glow. I don't know if it's art, but I like it.
There was a painter. He could paint an entire apartment in one afternoon, 2 coats!
So don't forget, MarkRedfieldArt.com. Cartoons for people.
And now, your host, Mark Redfield.
Hello, it's Halloween weekend, and I'm in Manhattan. I love New York. I'm something of a New Yorker at heart, and I'm doing a little research for the next Vampire Hunters Incorporated novel, which is set in New York City. It's called Resurrection and Revenge. In the new novel, our hero, vampire hunter Bertram Wells, confronts a vampire that dug himself out of a forgotten prison cell, and then goes on a rampage of revenge against the descendants of those that locked him up over a century ago. So that's why I'm in Times Square, research. And as much as I love New York, Times Square is best left for tourists and the naked cowboy. But an important scene takes place here, so here I am. Down south, in Parsippany, New Jersey, is the Chiller Theatre Expo, a raucous, tumultuous, rambunctious 3-day horror and celebrity autograph convention when anything can happen. The reputation Chiller has is rightly earned. My friends are down there, Joshua Kennedy and Caroline Munro and Martine Beswicke. Caroline and Martine star in our audio novella Sinbad and the Pirate Princess. We tend to travel around a lot in this business, and nobody jet sets it around more than Martine. Martine Beswicke is a Hammer film star, and she's also been in 2 excellent Bond films. The first is the classic Connery Bond, From Russia with Love.
From Russia with Love. They dance for him. They yearn for him. They die for him. From Zagreb to Sofia, from Venice to Istanbul, from Paris to London, Agent 007 cuts an inimitable path through the palaces and boudoirs of espionage.
James, you're hurting me.
I'll do worse than that if you don't tell me. I'm doing this under orders I know. And what are they?
Even if you kill me, I can say nothing.
And then a couple of years later, she was asked back to the film series to play Paula in Thunderball.
007, danger sign for the world's most famous gentleman agent with a license to kill and a license to thrill. 007, guarantee sign of prompt delivery, night and day service.
The things I do for England.
Ravishing redheads. Bronze brunettes. Honey blondes. The Bond women, 007 style.
It's Saturday on Halloween weekend, 2018, and let's eavesdrop on Martine Beswicke and Joshua Kennedy as they sit at Martine's table at Chiller, as they chat about Martine's travel, leaving Jamaica and moving to London at the age of 18, and the film Thunderball and other things. Let's call this episode Around the World with Martine Beswicke.
I am sitting here with the fabulously lovely, wonderful, too many adjectives to describe, Martine Beswicke. How are you?
Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here, my darling.
Oh, wonderful. When we were celebrating our 5-year
5
anniversary.
years, yeah, fantastic.
5 years ago we met.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. It's fantastic.
How time
And my
flies.
goodness, we've had some fabulous adventures.
All over the world, basically.
Yeah.
In Texas, in
London. Yeah.
Pennsylvania, Texas. We've been all over
We
the place.
have, actually.
Yes.
Haven't we done a bit of traveling?
We've been quite the global travelers.
I know. Wow.
So, I mean, I could ask you the cliche questions about Hammer and Sean Connery, but Mark wanted us to do something.
Traveling, yes.
Stay on traveling. So, any particular location in the world that stands out for you? That you would, if you got $1 million and you could go live there right now, where would you go?
Oh, actually, I don't know about living. First of all, I need more than $1 million.
Well, an unlimited supply of money, where would you go?
I would go traveling because I love to travel, okay? So I would have to say that I would go off to somewhere like Bora Bora or those kind of islands. I love islands. Well, of course, because I come from one.
Yes.
So, but I would love to do that. But if I was going to live halfway, it would be Italy.
Why?
I love Italy. I love their way of life, their
the
language, their food. I mean, I lived there for 2 years anyway, in Rome. But I also go every year because I have friends who have a house there. Fabulous. I love it. I mean, I love it because it's sort of like, even you go anywhere and even the old guys will go, oh, guarda come bella.
I see.
You know, it's sort of like,
it's a whole lifestyle.
There is a lifestyle. It is fabulous, and I would have somewhere there.
Yeah. But you live in London now.
London, yeah.
And
where would you go?
Where would I go?
Yeah.
I
mean, apart from your home
from Texas, yes. It wouldn't be New York. I lived 4 years.
I'm with you with that.
Yes.
New York's out for me.
Yes. I mean, no offense to New York, but I lived 4 years in New York, and it's
hard.
It's very hard. I mean, you talk about the Italian lifestyle. I think the New York lifestyle is just difficult. Yes, but what you wouldn't say London is like New York?
No, not at all. Actually, I found London to be much softer. It's got a big energy, but it's not the kind of manic. There's a manic energy in New York that I find really too much. On top of which, I don't like them big buildings. Because the great thing is that in London, I can see the sky.
Yes.
No matter what buildings go up, there's always space for sky.
I mean,
there is not space for sky as far as I'm concerned in New York.
Yes.
How was your feeling about New York?
I mean, you summed it up. And when we were in London this past summer, the amount of greenery is a complete contrast to the stark. I mean, we got Central Park, but that's...
Yeah, but I know somebody said, yes, but we have green and we have Central Park. I said, no, you don't understand. We have parks.
Yes.
Many, many parks. And then if we don't have parks, we have commons.
Yes.
We have Gardens, private gardens. We have gardens that flats surround. I mean,
In comparison to New York, it's a completely different.
window boxes on everything. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. This is a nation of gardeners. Really, even if they have a window box, you'll walk down streets and they'll be just like nobody has a garden, but they've got window boxes.
Well, you said garden. I mean, you have your own gigantic. See, a nice segue, huh?
Yeah, you mean my banana plantation?
Yes, your jungle of prehistoric women.
You have not seen it since you were there.
No, I haven't. No.
We're talking. I went back when I got back last time. It was. I needed a machete to get through. I mean, really, it was just. I mean, they're not like 10 feet anymore. They're more like 15 or 20 feet high.
Oh my God! Well, let's pause. God, yes, your plantation.
My plantation. Okay. Lordy, my plantation was. I mean, literally, I opened the door and I went, "Oh my God, have I gone too far?"
How long were you away from a time and then had to come back? You were a month.
A month, and we've had the most amazing summer ever. I mean, for 2 months we had heat. We had sun and no rain.
Well, we have a lot of that in Texas. I mean, the heat, not so much the rain. But.
Yeah, but Texas, you understand, but
yes.
not London. You know, I mean, that place is like, oh, you want to talk weather? Let's go to London. But we were lucky.
Yes.
When you came to London, we were really lucky.
Oh, that was the perfect weekend.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I brought the heat with me.
You did.
That Texas heat.
Yeah. So
you talked about going to Italy if you had enormous amounts of money, but you're happy in London?
I am actually. Yeah, I am. As long as I can get on a plane and go somewhere. But particularly, I go to Italy every year.
Yes.
Need to do that. And also, I have to go to LA because I have all my friends, my tribes there.
Yes.
And I need to see them. These are people I've known for 40 years. I mean, darling, you're a newie 5 years, you know? But I mean, it seems much bigger than that. So, I need to be able to get on. I need to travel. I really need to travel. I mean, it's sort of in my... I don't know if you're as much of a traveler as I am.
I don't think so. I mean, but that's kind of been ingrained in you because you were Jamaica first and then traveled to London, then you were... I mean, that's always been a theme.
Actually, it's been more of a theme than ever because when I was a little girl, I literally kept taking off at like 3 and 4 years old. To the point, I mean, I was living in the country and I would literally disappear.
Just run away from home? Or?
I was going to see the world. And they literally, luckily we were in the country, in a really like a country, tiny little countryside. And they knew, you know, the whole family. So every time I disappeared, you know, some kind person would bring me. I think your daughter is, you know, having her travels again. I think.
At 3 and 4.
4. So they basically what happened was that because my poor parents were just beside themselves. I mean, frantic. I mean, really disappear. I would literally take off my clothes and leave them at the gate and go and climb a tree and lie in my... I had a favorite mango tree that I used to lie and watch the clouds. I mean, I can actually remember... Naked. I can actually remember doing this and can feel how it was.
Yeah.
But because of that, they put a strap on me.
A leash?
A leash. They put a leash, and it was a pink leather leash. Now, it's interesting, because since that, I've always had this, like, don't fence me in attitude.
I see. Okay.
And I realized why.
Well, you were leashed as a child. That might, cause some of that.
Exactly. So, so this is not...
well, going on that same subject, so when was the first time you left Jamaica?
I was I was 12, almost 13 actually.
And then that was just
and then I
trip?
was 5 years in London. I went to school, grew up there, went to work, did everything.
With your family?
Yeah, with my mother and my sister.
Okay.
And then we came back to London, to Jamaica, and I did not want to come back.
Really? You got bit by the London bug.
Oh, I was a bohemian, honey. So then at that point, I absolutely rebelled and loathed being there. But I was there for 2 years, and I finally found a way to get out.
And is that the contest with the car and so tell that story. People who don't know.
Okay, so I was so busy sort of drinking and carousing and rebelling that I thought, now how am I going to do this? I've got to get out of here.
Let me out of here.
Yes,
Get me the hell out of here.
Exactly. So then what I would do, what happened was that it came up, there was a contest, a beauty contest, and the prize was a car. And all the girlfriends decided to enter. We all went in for the car. Right? And of course, the thing is too that if you enter that kind of competition, you get all sorts of clothes, and you kind of go and all of this stuff. It became this.
So how many contestants are we talking?
Probably, I don't know, maybe 20 or 25.
Okay, so
we're all friends.
Yes.
Because we're all vying for the car. So it was actually kind of a fun sort of, I don't know, one of those. So finally, and I was determined.
Yes.
I had made up my mind that I was going to win that car, and I was out of here. So I did. I went off and took to the beach. I didn't drink. I didn't see people.
In preparation for the...
preparation, I actually went and had a tan, which I hadn't seen the sun because I was so busy drinking and carousing.
Yes.
So then I went and I got myself all together, came back in, did the contest, won it.
And then sold the car.
Sold the car and left. And unfortunately, I had talked so much about London to my girlfriends that a whole bunch of them got on the plane. And I became mama. At like 19, 18 I think I was. Yeah.
So did they stay with you in London, or?
Then there was a whole other thing. Yeah. And then we got a flat, and it was all madness, and and nobody knew what we were doing. It was madness. And then I was there, and I was also wanted when I was 4. Decided I wanted to be an actress.
Yes.
So.
And that's like a past life thing. That's just because you told me you said you wanted to be an actress, but you'd never seen a movie before.
Didn't have television until I got to London, and when I did get to London, there was television.
Yeah.
It was like 3 hours a day. BBC. It was 1954, long before you were even thought of. Anyway,
54 was a good year, but
yeah. So anyway, so that was me. So what was your first travel experience? What was the first thing? Apart from New York.
Well, funny you should say that, because it's always been ingrained in me as well, because apparently I was 6 months old, and I climbed the pyramids of Mexico City. Well, I didn't climb them.
I was going to say, wait a minute. Hang on.
Yeah.
6 months old, baby climbing up the pyramids.
Yeah, on all fours, all the way to the top. No, I was in a carrier, and
really?
They
your
carried
mom
me
and
up.
dad?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're ready.
Yes. Came out of the womb and we, boom, right there. But yeah, it's all, the big one that I remember was, Texas is so freaking big, but it's San Antonio, which is 300 miles north of where.
Yes.
and it was the Alamo. That's where the original Alamo battle. I don't know. Is the Alamo such a big thing in London?
Well, it's the name is big, but I mean nobody really know. I mean, yes, maybe there are people who are interested who know the whole background. I mean,
but when I say the Alamo, what comes to? Did anything come to mind?
Yeah, it's a big battle of some sort.
Okay, that counts. Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
About it. You know, Alamo.
Yeah.
Right.
How we got on the Alamo, it's inevitable with me. Yes, and so for me again, living in Texas, the Alamo, we learned that in school and everything, but it was 300 miles north of where I lived, and we were still in Texas, which is
gigantic.
Gigantic, yes. And so it blew my mind when I went to school in New York City and could take a train and in 2 hours be in Washington, D.C., or like 3 or 4 hours, and you've gone through so many states.
Oh, right.
Yes, because there's the size of Texas.
Oh, because Texas took for days to go through. Oh.
You could spend probably 3 days just driving and still be in Texas.
Wow.
Non-stop, yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah. Here's the good one. What's the longest trip you've been on? Like plane or boat or...
Thailand.
From where?
From Los Angeles.
Oh,
that was long.
Yeah,
that was really long.
That's double-digit hours?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was happening in Thailand?
I had one of my best friends had gotten married and went to live in Thailand, and she was actually my roomie before.
Okay.
And she went to live in Thailand, and basically she's an interior designer, and she was designing restaurants with this major billionaire, and she wanted to do American themed things. So I collected all of this. I bought all of this stuff.
Were you the what's it called, the advisor, the American advisor?
No, what I went and collected. I was her assistant, basically.
Yes.
So I went and I found all of this memorabilia, kind of mad stuff, to put in all these restaurants.
Oh.
And I came out with 11 bags, including a surfboard, gun holsters, because it was all Americana.
American, yes.
It was, and I got to Thailand, and she and her husband met me at the airport, and in order to get all this stuff through customs, and by this time she was speaking Thai, right?
Yes.
So she told the customs people that this was for the consulate, and that it was for a party, and that they were going to be invited.
So did they buy?
Yes, because they were so amazed at all the stuff that I had. I mean, it was like unbelievable, and I can't believe that I did that too. I mean, really. And I spent 6 weeks there.
Wow.
And I actually loved it. I really loved it. But my God, it's hot.
Oh God, I mean it's jungle, isn't it?
It is. I mean,
humid.
You would literally go inside, and of course, air conditioner everywhere.
Yes.
And you go inside, and you come out, and within minutes, it is literally pouring. It doesn't drench; it pours down your body. Absolutely. So that's probably my longest. I'm trying to think where else. That's the longest one.
Yeah.
That's the longest one.
That sounds,
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, Jamaica is quite long, and Nassau was quite long, but that was a private jet.
Oh.
But this is a private plane for the entire cast and crew of Thunderball.
Okay. Well.
Oh yeah, baby.
So I know this story that you were too pale. Yeah, well, you knew Terrence Young, the director, from Russia with Love, and he fought for you to be Paula in Thunderball, but you were too pale. Is that correct?
Pale. I hadn't seen the sun in like years.
You living in London?
Yes, I was like gray. I was only out at night.
like a vampire.
Yeah, absolutely, like a vampire.
So, your job was to go to...
My job was, I was on the call sheet every morning for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Before I started working.
Were they shooting? Were they shooting already?
Oh yeah. So wherever they were shooting, and most of it was on the beach, wherever they were shooting, I was called to lie in the sun and get a tan. And eat.
And that was on the call sheet. So did it say Martine Tan?
Do you know what? I wish I had a call sheet.
Oh, that would, yeah.
Because it was on the call sheet that I was on. I can't remember when. But I know the name was there.
Yes.
But I can't remember whether they said, lie in the sun or get a suntan.
So how far? I mean, it was just lay out anywhere, or were you like?
No, I was like
feet away from the camera.
Yeah, and of course, naturally, I got bored lying around in the sun, so I was doing all sorts of things. I was dancing.
Yes.
I was like, annoying people.
So all those scenes in Thunderball where they're on the beach, you're just a few feet away, lying on the beach. So your Thunderball on the beach, that must have been your best vacation, your best trip?
Well, Thunderball, the whole shoot was fantastic. It's just fabulous. I mean, first of all, the cast, the crew, everyone. Best of all, Terrence Young, who led the crew, led everyone.
And in terms of like a trip, like you just got to lie on a beach and have that be your job. Is that at the top of your trip list?
Well, it's one of many.
Okay.
One of many. One of the other things is that I did a Western in Almeria, which Almeria, when I went there, had one street and the desert.
And where is this?
It's south of Spain.
Okay. Is this
southern Spain? It is now huge. Yeah, Bullet for the General, and it's now huge. I mean, it's like unbelievable. But I discovered the desert because I literally spent 3 months on a horse in the desert. And because of that, I suppose when I lived in California, I went to my favorite place.
Yes, Death Valley.
Death Valley. Oh, wow. That is actually one of my favorite places.
And what was just the beauty, the atmosphere, what about it?
Wow. The space.
Yes.
You can actually, when you look out, and there's like...
It's like a different planet, right?
Absolutely.
I think that they shoot Mars movies there, like to make it look like Mars.
Yeah, I mean, there are actually no... If you look around, there are no telephone poles or electricity poles or anything. It's just like incredible. I mean, there's like mountains, salt flats, sand dunes, you name it, it's everything. And it is just, first of all, it's gorgeous.
Yes.
But it's also... There's something
ethereal.
You cannot touch another place.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid this isn't a drill. It is not a drill. We have been asked to evacuate the Hilton Hotel. A possible gas leak and a bomb threat has been reported. We must evacuate the building, and we are being asked to move 100 feet away from the hotel. Well, we're sorry, folks, that we had to end this interview as abruptly as we did. It was just getting good. But a bomb threat was called in, and, well, something always seems to happen at a Chiller convention. We'll pick up with Martine in the future. Until then, thanks for listening to the show, and be safe, wherever you are. This is Mark Redfield coming to you from the Hilton Parssippany, Saturday the 27th of October, 2018.
Thank you for listening to the Redfield Arts Review. Please come back again for our next show. The Redfield Arts Review and the original content of this program is copyright the Mark Redfield Company. Shopping for Explosives by Coconut Monkey Rocket. Licensed under Attribution Non-Commercial International License. All other content used by permission of the respective rights holders or used for educational and informational purposes. Original music, sound design, and engineering is by Jennifer Rouse. This is your announcer, Marianne Perry. Available now from Redfield Arts Audio.
Hello, this is Caroline Monroe.
And I'm Martine Beswick.
And we're here to tell you about this wonderful and exciting new project that we've both been involved with. It's called Sinbad and the Pirate Princess.
And it's a movie for your ear.
Baghdad. The great city and its citizens are celebrating.
Now, as I am a river to my people.
You must kill her, my handsome and still skeptical Captain Sinbad. The only good pirate is a dead one.
Brace yourself, Captain Bula! The pirates are upon us! Their ship comes alongside us!
I shall not rest until all of Badra's ships are burnt.
You remind me of only one other swordsman with such skill.
Who?
Me!
What is that in that vial?
This? Simply the blood of a siren mixed into a potion that I now drink.
Look! Look! She changes, Captain!
For you and the people of Zelos, I have complete faith in Sinbad. He's the very man you need.